Alrighty, folks, so I just finished the last episode in Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries, the Volume 2. This episode is called Stolen Kids. It's about Christopher Dansby and Shane Walker. Yeah, so this case is just another really depressing one. But basically, I believe the first kid, Christopher, was the one who got kidnapped first in this park in Harlem, New York. And then I think Shane Walker, he was the one who was kidnapped about 3 months after Christopher was. And yeah, these ones are really they seem connected because they were both on a Thursday, both around the same time of day in the same park in New York, 3 months apart. It just seems really fishy to me. But I think the investigators, they said something in it about that it could not be a coincidence and just kind of two random different events. But yeah, and I think in this case there's three different kind of possibilities. So there was one kind of idea that maybe there was a child selling ring, and that they use these parks to get children and sell them to people who can't have kids or something. I guess that's a possibility, but I would say it's probably the least likely. And they said something about the family members maybe took them. The first lady, I forget her name, but I think she was the mother of Christopher. They said at the time she had a drug addiction. But it would seem really odd that the family would take the kid and then just think they were going to get away with it. I just don't think that one's possible either. But I guess it could be somebody who just can't have kids. That's a possibility, and for some reason they're just delusional morons and think, oh, well, I can't have a kid, so I'm just going to take somebody else's. And then, these kids are so young at this time that, they were 2 years old, and they wouldn't know any better. I guess they know their mom, but it'd be you could brainwash them, who knows. And there's of course the darker option that it was kind of a pedo thing, or some kind of murderer. That would suck, but it would be weird if they wanted to murder a kid, to take them wherever the hell they're going and then kill them. I think that would be pretty weird. Wouldn't they just kill them? I don't know, and then run away at night or something? Who knows? I'm losing track. But yeah, and I thought the episode did a good job of kind of explaining how they got away with it. Because it was in broad daylight that they took them. You would think a little kid, if they got taken by someone that they don't know, they would be crying and stuff. But I thought the guy, I think it was the investigator, he said, kids are crying all the time in parks, and their parents are dealing with them, and so it would blend in plain sight. And this episode is probably, out of all the episodes of Unsolved, the Volume 2, I thought it was probably the most depressing, because it's just got innocent kids in it, and there's kind of no hope. But then they bring up this case about Carlina White. Now, she was pretty much kidnapped, and then she grew up her whole life with a fake name, a fake identity, and this person that couldn't have kids basically kidnapped her and raised her as her own, and she didn't know the wiser. She needed her birth certificate or something, and they could never find it. And then gave her a DNA test, and they basically found out that it was a match for the kidnapping that had taken place all those years ago, the missing child report. And it's kind of awesome because the episode's just, you think you're watching it and it's oh, this whole thing is just a depressing nightmare, and that these people are so screwed up in the world to kidnap kids and do whatever with them. But this is one that gives you hope. This Carlina White, she found her parents, and it's oh my god, finally a bright spot in this whole show. It's that's probably the most happy part of the episode, and probably this whole Volume 2. But yeah, and at the end of the episode, they showed them aged up, and they would be around 30 years old. The Carlina White one, it's awesome and amazing that she found her family after all those years. It's got to be just one of the most surreal moments. It kind of gives me goosebumps, to be honest. Yeah, the episode, it ends, and it's showing a bunch of more kids that have been taken, and she kind of ages them up to see if maybe anybody has any idea, have seen any of these people. So it's good. Unsolved Mysteries, it's a depressing show, but the Carlina White story, it pretty much shows that there is hope, even though it's a depressing world, that maybe these kids can be found. And that's all we could hope for. That'd be awesome if I read a news article that one day these kids, they're not kids anymore, but they would meet their parents and just reunite. That'd be the most inspiring shit of all time. But But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this one. It's pretty depressing, but there is a, ray of sunshine, with Carlina being found. And that will do it for this video. Peace out.